Imagine hearing that one of the driest countries on Earth would one day help feed millions of people across the globe. Not by discovering oil, not by finding a massive river, and not because it suddenly started receiving more rain. Instead, it built an industry worth billions of dollars by solving one simple question that almost every nation had been asking for centuries. How do you grow more food with less water? That single question changed agriculture forever. For decades, experts believed Israel's geography was its biggest weakness. More than half of the country is desert or semi-arid land. Rain falls during only a small part of the year. Summers are long and hot, and freshwater resources are limited. On paper, it looked like one of the worst places in the world to build a successful agricultural economy. Yet today, Israel is among the world's leading innovators in irrigation technology. Its companies sell farming systems to more than 100 countries, and their ideas have transformed the way farmers use water from India to California. But none of this was inevitable. In the early years after Israel's founding, the country faced a difficult reality. Food production had to increase, but water simply wasn't available in unlimited quantities. Engineers drilled wells, built pipelines, and expanded reservoirs. These projects moved water more efficiently, but they failed to solve the real problem because the water was still being wasted after it reached the fields. Traditional flood irrigation had been used for thousands of years. Large areas of land were covered with water in the hope that enough of it would reach plant roots. Under hot conditions, much of that water evaporated, some flowed away, and some sank below the roots where crops could no longer use it. Adding more water only made an inefficient system larger. Israel didn't need more water. It needed a completely different approach. That breakthrough came from an unexpected observation. Engineer Simcha Blass noticed a tree growing far better than the others around it. The reason wasn't extra rainfall or richer soil. A tiny leak in a nearby pipe was releasing water slowly and continuously beside the tree's roots. The tree wasn't receiving more water. It was receiving water at exactly the right place. The idea sounded almost too simple, which is why many people dismissed it. Farmers trusted methods that had worked for generations, and early versions of the technology were expensive and unreliable. For years, the concept remained little more than an experiment. Then plastic manufacturing improved, water shortages became more severe, and experimentation transformed from an option into a necessity. The result was drip irrigation. Instead of flooding an entire field, water traveled through narrow plastic tubes and tiny emitters that released small amounts directly beside each plant. In many farming applications, this dramatically reduced water consumption while maintaining or even increasing crop yields. Fertilizer could also be delivered through the same system, reducing waste and improving efficiency. The invention solved a scientific problem, but it still wasn't a business. That changed in 1965 when Netafim was founded on Kibbutz Hatzerim. Rather than selling pipes, the company sold productivity. It designed complete irrigation systems, advised farmers, trained operators, and continuously improved its technology. Customers weren't buying plastic tubing. They were investing in higher yields, lower water bills, and more predictable harvests. That business model changed everything. As droughts affected more regions around the world, countries that had once ignored drip irrigation began looking at it very differently. Governments, food companies, and commercial farms realized that every percentage point of water saved could translate into higher profits. Demand spread rapidly, and Israeli irrigation systems reached vineyards in California, sugarcane fields in India, vegetable farms in Mexico, and orchards across Australia. Yet Israel understood something important. Drip irrigation alone would never guarantee long-term water security. If rainfall continued to decline, the country would eventually need entirely new sources of water. That realization led to another massive investment, desalination. Along the Mediterranean coast, Israel built advanced desalination plants capable of converting seawater into drinking water on a huge scale. These facilities required billions of dollars in investment, but they dramatically reduced dependence on unpredictable rainfall and created a far more reliable national water supply. At the same time, Israel expanded wastewater treatment. Today, roughly 90% of the country's treated wastewater is recycled for agricultural use, giving Israel one of the highest agricultural wastewater reuse rates in the world. Water that would normally be discarded is cleaned and returned to farms instead. Each innovation made the next one more valuable. Reliable water supplies encouraged advanced irrigation. Advanced irrigation increased crop productivity. Higher productivity attracted investment, and that investment funded even more research. The result wasn't a single invention. It was an entire ecosystem built around making every drop of water more valuable. That is where the real business emerged. Israeli companies no longer competed by selling hardware alone. They exported engineering expertise, software, sensors, filtration systems, consulting services, and decades of agricultural research. Farmers weren't simply purchasing equipment. They were investing in proven systems designed to reduce risk, increase efficiency, and improve profits. Knowledge itself became the product, and as climate change increased pressure on agriculture worldwide, that knowledge became even more valuable. Today, the global precision irrigation market is worth billions of dollars, and continues to grow as freshwater becomes increasingly scarce. Ironically, Israel never became successful because it had abundant natural resources. It became successful because it had almost none. Scarcity forced efficiency. Efficiency inspired innovation. Innovation created companies. And those companies built an industry that now helps farmers around the world produce more food with fewer resources. Sometimes, the most valuable business isn't built by discovering something new. It's built by learning how to use what everyone else is wasting.